Welcome to Buyer's Remorse.
Buyer's Remorse.
I'm Justin.
I'm Darren.
And this is the show where we subject each other to games that are already in our Steam library. And because you're still playing fairly one-handed, making it slightly difficult with your broken arm for me to choose games for you, I made you play 60 minutes of Michonne.
Yep.
The TellTale Walking Dead game. Knowing that you had it in your library, I don't have this one in my library, but I have played through Walking Dead Season 1 and Season 2 of the TellTale series. I am not a fan.
Yeah, I know.
But I wanted to see if this one was any better. I did want to know if the story was any better, if the choices were any better. So let's start with you buying this game. So did you buy it all together as one giant bundle?
Yeah, I got this ages ago on like the Humble. They did like a TellTale bundle. And I got this, and I think I got Walking Dead Season 2, Michonne, 400 Days. I think I got Tales from the Borderlands as well.
What's 400 Days? I don't know.
It's another one.
But it's not Walking Dead related?
It is Walking Dead related.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what it's called.
That's one I've missed out on then.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we've had lots of talks about that. TellTale, I know people are in love with these games, and I was too, but I feel like I was kind of suckered into it. When I played the second season, I wasn't impressed.
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, the thing is, you've played The Wolf Among Us, which I haven't played yet, and you said that one is quite good.
It is. It's the best one, definitely.
So I will still, since I have it in my library at some point, I'm definitely going to have to play it. But The Walking Dead, for me, when it came to the games, it just felt like I was being given choices that weren't really choices. And I wasn't sure if they'd really make a difference or not. And you had issued similar complaints, but only I think once you got to Season 2. I don't think you felt it in Season 1, whereas I kind of felt it almost immediately and was driven a bit crazy by it.
The second season is a lot different. I don't know if they've got different writers or something like that. It's not as good. Michonne, though, I mean, to be honest, I went in... When you picked it for me, you picked it because otherwise I probably wouldn't have played it. Like, to be honest, after the last Walking Dead, I was kind of like, nah, I'm done with this. I don't want to play any more of these TellTale games. And I probably wouldn't have gone to it unless, well, like you kind of made me do it for this podcast. It was better than Season 2 for a lot of reasons. One is it's only 3 chapters long. So it's not 5 chapters. And if you go on the Steam reviews, of course, no one's happy. Like, oh, it's too short. I don't think so. I think it's perfect. It doesn't overstay. It's welcome. It's concise. I think with The Walking Dead, with the five chapters, they run out of stuff to do, and they just end up making you feel like a terrible shit human being after all the bad choices that you get given. But let's be fair, this game has its fair share of that as well. There are points in that where even the responses, like, I'm screaming at my monitor, just tell them the truth. Like, this isn't even an answer. It's like, this person's they're about to murder you, and your choices are lie, be an asshole, or don't say anything, you know? It's like, I don't want to do that. I want to tell them what actually happened so that she doesn't shoot me in the face, or that I don't have to kill her instead. So it's like, you're giving me the shit sandwich. It's like, here you go, take two horrible options, and that's not a choices matter game. That's like, it's stupid. I don't know. It's not how a human being should act, basically. And I'm what would be the right word? I'm always play as a good guy. I can't stop that. We've talked about this before. Whenever I play games like Fallout or Mass Effect, I was always Paragon. I was always good karma. I'm not good at being a bad guy, so don't make me be a bad guy, because if you force me to be a bad guy, I'm not going to like your game. There you go. Plain and simple. It starts out really well, though.
So what is the basic premise of this game?
Yeah, so basically, you are Michonne, and you're on a boat with some other guys. I know a little bit about The Walking Dead. I'm not huge into the comics. I watched the TV show, so I kind of know a little bit about what I'm talking about. But
so is this meant to be before the outbreak?
It's after, but supposedly there's a part in the comic books where Michonne kind of disappears for a while. Do you know about what I'm talking about, or?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so she goes a bit crazy. She loses.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's beyond the point I got in the show, but Yeah, I have got that point in the comic. Because
okay.
there's a section where time jumps ahead a bit, I believe. And so I think that's what we're talking about.
Right, okay.
It's not so much that she disappears, but she goes off on a different path.
She goes off, yeah. She goes away on her own. So that's where we are. And we're on a boat, and Michonne is having a severe mental breakdown about her kids. And the game opens with her trying to kill herself.
Did you have to try and do it like in season 2 where there's like a quick time action that you have to try
no. No, but I think you've got the choice.
I hated in season 2 trying to stitch yourself back up.
They do a surgery in this one, and I was like, please don't let it be like that. It's a lot easier. It's a lot easier.
I had to look up a walkthrough to figure out that surgery thing.
Yeah, that was...
it was not intuitive at all.
It was painful to watch, painful to do. But no, so you start on this thing, you're going crazy, seeing your dead children, or I don't even know if they're dead, but seeing your kids around, you get taken on this boat, and of course, in true Walking Dead fashion, you just get up to your neck and shit, basically. You go on a boat, you're trying to salvage some stuff, but it's not your stuff, it's someone else's stuff, and now you've taken their stuff and they want their stuff back. And so...
Other survivors?
Yeah.
Where are these other survivors?
So they're on like
another island?
They're on so basically you go to a ferry, there's some kids, and you find a duffel bag full of stuff, and there's 2 kids who have stolen that stuff from a bigger group, and the kind of main antagonist, I guess, is a guy and his sister. So Norma, she's the leader of this group, and they basically live on a quayside kind of place with a bunch of boats. They're like seafaring people, I guess. And it would be so much easier if you could just say, we were just salvaging some stuff, and we came across your stuff, but here you go, have it back, and then we'll be on our way. Thanks, bye, end credits. But no, it gives you a bunch of terrible options to dig your own grave. You know? And, okay, so that's the story, and that makes for a more interesting story than okay, let's be friends, the end. I get it, but it just really annoyed me because I don't want to do that. One thing I'll say about it is, kind of tested it to see if my QuickTime events mattered, because
Did you really want to test it, or is it just the fact that your hand was sore?
Oh, no, I did, because when I played Tales from the Borderlands, and people love that, and I'm probably going to be crucified if I say anything bad about it, because it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Tales from the Borderlands, it was a decent story, but the gameplay wasn't good, it sucked. And there were entire sections of Tales from the Borderlands where it's like, press this button, and if you just sit back and go, no, I'm not going to press anything, I just want to see, because I kind of want to see the death scenes as well. I want to see what happens, then replay it, and, But no, there's a part in this where it's like, press E, it's a dramatic thing, there's a guy with a knife to your throat. But if you don't press anything, you just kill him anyway. Like, oh, yeah, my choices really matter, TellTale. So, there were a couple of points like that. Not many, to be fair. If you don't press it, you die in a number of gruesome ways. There's a lot of death scenes. The QuickTime events in this are better. They're not as complicated. I think they've finally worked out that people aren't really interested in them, especially if they go on too long or are too complicated or too, time focused. Like, you got to press it within this certain amount of time or you fail. It's basically just to try and kind of keep you engaged with the action. And the action is really good. You slicing off heads, poking out people's eyes. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. Yeah, it's pretty good. The action is good.
I will say that's one thing that I've found very frustrating when playing through the games, is that there wasn't a lot of time to make those choices, especially sometimes with dialogue. I felt like I was barely given just enough time to read it, let alone choose which one I wanted to say. Again,
I think they fixed that in this, where everything is, I could be wrong, but everything felt like it was the same time. It wasn't like, okay, you finished, that's it. Oh, you didn't say anything? Okay, you're a horrible person. Again. This was like, everything was about 10 seconds. 10 seconds for everything, you're done. That was pretty good, because I hated that as well. You don't have time to react, really. Like, the dialogue becomes a quick time event, almost.
Exactly. It literally was at times.
Yeah. But basically, for the first hour, you're killing some zombies, you're getting to know the crew. Of course, the crew's a mixed bag. There's a whole bunch of kind of people that just picked up along the way. The captain, pretty solid, stoic kind of guy, honourable kind of captain. And then you go to this ferry, pick up the gear, get involved in this mess, get taken prisoner, and back to Norma. And that was pretty much my hour, man. That was the hour, because a lot of it was build up and kind of just wandering around and clicking on items like, look at this sail. Oh, it's a sail. Check out the starboard side of the ship. What can you see? Nothing. And then eventually you find the ferry or whatever. So a lot of it was kind of slow, but it was an improvement. And knowing that it was only 3 chapters, it's like you can afford to take it as slow as, well, a little bit slower than you want, than if it's got 5 chapters. 3 chapters is great. Oh, spoilers. I played it to the end.
Well, there goes my next question. I was going to ask if you were going to continue on, but yeah, you've already finished it then.
Yeah. I mean, it took me 3 days, so I played 1 chapter every day. It didn't.
And how long was each chapter?
About an hour.
So it's a roughly 3-hour game?
It's about a 3-hour game.
Okay,
yeah.
And
so I can't really talk about the end of the game. I mean, I can tell you about it, but I can't tell you how it would affect my decision to buy the game or recommend the game. It didn't draw me enough to like finish it in one sitting. But it was like, yeah, it didn't annoy me like Negan does. Like, I don't want to watch the show with Negan in it anymore. I'm tired of him. I don't like that kind of hopeless... I mean, I suppose that's what the show is, right? But I just don't like that kind of aspect of the game either. It's like just this putting you in a really shitty situation and then saying like, why can't you get out of this? You have to solve this and get out of this bad situation. But here are your options. Make it worse, make it slightly worse, or die. Or like screw over your friends to get better. You know, it's like those aren't options that I want.
What did you think about the voice acting in this game?
It was good, yeah, and it wasn't as bad as the voice acting from season 2. Like, I can't remember who it was from that. I think it was Kenny. He really bugged me, man. Sound effects are good. The whole everything about, like I said, they've taken all the bad stuff from season 2 and tried to get rid of it and scrub down the kind of what makes the TellTale games of the past good. And it works. The shortness of the game is definitely a bonus for me.
And you posted screenshots as well. You like the way this game looked.
Oh, yeah. I meant to say that, actually. The opening credits are great. It's like, it opens like a Bond movie. It's really stylish, like so she'll be swinging her sword, although she doesn't have her sword in the game, she has a machete, but she'll be swinging her sword in slow motion, and then you'll catch like a reflection of whoever's getting the sword on the other side, or her face or something like that. The sails of the ship, because it's all kind of ship-based, so the sails kind of unfurl, and it's got like the comic book art as it unfurls down. It's really cool, and the soundtracks are really good. That's one thing TellTale does really well. Their soundtracks are always really good. The music is great every time, and that's a big selling point for me as well. I like good soundtracks with games. Yeah, the opening credits are good. The soundtrack is good. The songs in it are good. The voice acting is pretty good. No one's really whiny or kind of annoying. Everyone is decent, and there's some really brutal parts in it. It's. I think this was written by the people that wrote either the show or the comics, or maybe they do both of them anyway, or they probably have their hand in both. But yeah, so it's directly linked to the writers, and they've made it a lot more kind of gory and kind of violent. There's some really crazy scenes in there.
Would you say that you need to know the show or know the comics to understand this, or have played Walking Dead 1 or 2?
No, yeah, that's a good point, actually. No to all of them. I think...
So this is a true standalone game.
I think if you've never seen The Walking Dead, and you're like, what's The Walking Dead? Well, here's a short game for you to get. This basically is the core of the show and the comic. Because it's got zombies in it, finally. You know, it's not like the later seasons where it's like, oh, zombies aren't the issue, it's the people. The people are the bad guys. This has got lots of zombies, and it's got bad people. Again, that's later in the game. I can't comment on that. Edit that. Yeah, so it's got tons of zombies. It's got blood. It's got guts. It's got decapitations. It's got bad people trying to torture you and take your friends hostage and murder them. It's got a lot of loss of characters that disappear. That's part of the choices matter stuff. I did let a few people go. Some by accident, some I wanted, And, but yeah, you don't really have to know the other stories. It doesn't matter. It's completely standalone. And if you don't like it, then don't bother with the rest of them. If you don't like the art style, or if you don't like the gameplay, or if you don't like anything, then you've spent a little bit of money on a shorter kind of TellTale side project.
So you would say this is a good intro to TellTale games as well?
It's a good litmus test.
Well, there we have it. Walking Dead, Michonne.
Would I recommend it to you?
Somewhat recommended. Would you recommend it to me, knowing how I feel about these games?
I would, because I think you could appreciate it because it's shorter, and it is better than 2. But I don't know if you're too far gone to be like, no, I can't look at anything they do now because I'm tainted. I've given up on them. I definitely felt that way, and I still kind of do. Like, even if TellTale release a new game, I'm probably not going to pick it up. Sorry, TellTale.
Somehow, I think they'll be doing just fine without us.
Yeah.
So, was this buyer's confirmation or buyer's remorse?
Confirmation for this one. Yeah. It was to be part of a bundle and cheap. It wasn't a bad purchase to get as part of a bundle. If I paid full price for it, then I can maybe understand the reviews saying it's too short because they want more content for their money. But yeah, if you can pick this up cheap or, like I said, part of a bundle, go for it.
Buyer's confirmation.
All right, I forgot how we introduced it though.
Do we need to do yours first so that...
Maybe. Welcome to the show, Buyer's Remorse, where we give each other interesting, shall we say, games to play. Some are good.
We don't. You did, dear listener. My friend cheated this week and gave me this game. Because the whole point of the show, my friend, is that buyer's remorse, whether I'm going to have remorse or not. Not whether you're going to enjoy subjecting me to this. Because you're not going to have remorse. Exactly. Because I'm the one that has to suffer through this one.
I'm the buyer and I have no remorse.
Okay. What did you see in that picture? What did you see?
Massive tits.
Did you not see people floating in the air?
Oh yeah, that too.
All this and more in the next episode of Buyer's Remorse.